Stage, Dr. Linh from Flextrapower. Please join us. Welcome. So Dr. Lei is from. So Dr. Lei has over 10 years of experience in entrepreneurship in deep tech startups. He's currently the founder of Flextrapower. After completing his PhD in material science at Stevens Institute of Technology, he worked with a team of investigators to publish multiple papers. He currently holds 8 patents worldwide and is an active investor, mentor, and advisor to startups. He received his Master of Science in Chemical Engineering from Columbia University and Bachelor's from the Vietnam National University. And community service and development have always been his core passions. He's currently an entrepreneur in residence at the University of British Columbia. So without any further delay, the stage is yours, and you may begin.
Thank you so much, everyone. And it is my pleasure to opening the last session. And thanks, Kasha. You can just simply say that I was a scientist. I turned into the dark side, which is running a business, founding a startup company. And I think for the presentation today, I am going to not talk a lot about technical, but then I just want to share with you my story, my personal story, and then how COVID has been helping and not helping me and my team. So this is Vancouver. I'm currently living in Vancouver. I used to live in New York, in the US for 12 years. And then COVID hit, and here I am, moving to Vancouver, immigrate to Canada. I became Canadian permanent resident a couple of years ago, and I'm truly blessed about that opportunity. So I think that I am the first one to really post a picture of the previous CPES. This is in Vermont, 2019, when I was sharing the plan, how we going to become the world's largest connected insole for helping diabetic patients. So I'm going to spend a couple of minutes to talk about my previous startup. So for diabetic foot ulcer, it is actually the global issue. So you might know that 500 million people are suffering from diabetes around the world. And then about half of that will experience some type of, let me move this one a little bit. About half of that will experience some nerve damage. And then actually at this moment, millions of people are developing or at the risk of developing a foot ulcer. So the foot ulcer is just a small wound at the bottom of the foot. And it only takes 4 days to develop into an irreversible wound that will lead to foot amputation. So our solution is very simple. We have the preventative healthcare system, consists of the connected insole as well as the app. So it's a companion app for the patient and also connecting the patient with the doctor. It's super simple. We continuously monitoring the 2 most critical measurements, pressure and temperature. With those 2 raw data, we would be able to come up with the predictive for foot health monitoring in diabetic patients. And of course, we have actionable insight. We have been working with a lot of different patient groups and as well as podiatrists and clinicians. So if you take a look at this image, this is the real thermal image, by the way. Okay, on the right-hand side. So on your right-hand side is 35 C. It is only 2 degrees C warmer compared to the other one, but then it actually poses an 80% more chance, the likelihood to ulcerate over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we introduced the solution to the market. We sold the insole for $100 upfront, and then the business model is $30 per month for access on the consumer side, and also we charge clinician for $40 per patient per month. We receive great support from insurance company because we help insurance company to prevent any foot amputation, which can go up to $500,000 per incident. And yeah, it's all possible because of my previous work in my PhD. As Kasha said, I own 8 patents. I was working on graphene nanomaterial. I was using the inkjet printer from my PhD day. And then I was living my life. This is me in my PhD. I successfully integrate into the connected insole, as you can see here. Now that the information is on, it is public. This is the work that we have been doing with Gore, WL Gore. And yeah, basically, everything is going great. I was presenting in the stage. This is the last collision conference outside of Canada, 2017 in New Orleans, Louisiana. And then COVID hit. 2019, this became normal. And then I moved back to Canada. My team has been scattered around the world. Yeah, what to do? The insole, the supply chain, everything has been delayed. My team went from 40 people down to 10. It was crazy time. But then at that time, April 2019, I still remember that. North America, specifically New York City, have a shortage in masks. So this is me raising money from my peers, my network, and then I was able to pick up the mask from the airport and then deliver to the doctor. And then the new product really came into my mind. And then I have been in business of PPE, protective personal equipment since then. We think that we can come up with some kind of idea to really removing the use of the disposable mask. We don't want to see trillions and trillions of masks making every day, making every month, and then dispose after like one-time use. So this is the product that we have been working on. We went from I would say prototype. From the idea to prototype to the first shipment outside of Vietnam in 7 weeks. So we made the business out of that. This is my first shipment, and then it was made in Vietnam. So we receive a lot of testimonial from friends, from customers. We sold a lot over the past couple of years. But then this is not truly reusable. So we partner with another company. We think that a truly reusable product would be not throwing out the filter or not throwing out the mask, but then just like, think about like throwing out just the filter. So we came up with this product. It took a little bit longer. 6 months later, we have our first prototype. We are selling our product right now. It is actually approved by Health Canada. And then for the sake of printed electronic, how do we make this smart? How do we make this mask smart? This is the next question. And then, yeah, we would love to answer that question. So now, going back to really like who I am, I think that I am neither scientist, I am neither business leader, because my previous company was not a success. But I do see that I want to really bring the product out to the market, not just the product, but then how the product can be used by different people. And then I am still very interested in preventative healthcare, and then I am still love the graphene technology, as well as other material, such as make sense. So we think about what would be the next platform, textile as a next platform. I would love to talk to Professor Milos earlier today, because I would love to see what I have been working on. If somehow I can plug into the kite ecosystem, I would definitely achieve the goal, the sooner the better. So initial results, we have been working with several universities, Alfred University in the US, as well as the Vietnam National University, my alma mater. We found out that graphene is actually a pretty good muscle activity sensor. We published several papers. We have the patent on different type of, I would say, fabric, from polyester to cotton as well. We went into this market, physical therapy for telehealth. I was that guy. During COVID, I become pretty big. And then in one of the gym sessions, I injure myself. And then what do? I have to talk to the physical therapist in the screen. And then when he was saying that, okay, can you increasing the strength a little bit? And I was saying, how do I do that? I don't know, because there is no data. It's all coming down to the gel, like sticky gel, as a data collection, right? If we can integrate the sensor directly into the clothing, that would be lovely. That would be great. And this is not new. So this is the product that has been introduced for the professional cyclists back in 2016. Where are they now? Oh, they ran out of money. What happened with the technology? Nobody's doing anything with it. Such a waste. So we also talking with a lot of different physical therapist partner, and then the patient, we develop our patient journey, I would say, and then it has been going great so far. So in Vancouver, we have University of British Columbia, we have Simon Fraser University, we have Praxis, spinal cord injury, who love to partner with us. We have Movement Lab, one of the largest athletic lab in Vancouver. They love to work with us. And then we are so lucky to work with NRC IRAP. We received the first investment from IRAP as a company, and then, yeah, it was amazing. Teflon, I just put the name there earlier today because last night I got interested from Teflon. So let's see how it goes. I cannot do this without my team. My team is a distributed team from New York City to Vancouver to Vietnam. Would love to thank them, even though that it is smaller than before. And then I think that I just want to end this talk with, again, I am just the normal guy. I recently became entrepreneur in residence with University of British Columbia. I really hope that my experience as the startup owner, as the business owner or startup entrepreneur in the past 4 years can really help the next generation of entrepreneur not making the same mistake. I mean, they will make a different type of mistake, but then they're going to overcome that faster. And then, yeah, one step after another, I am the marathon runner. So I would love to go back to running. New York City Marathon, Toronto Marathon, here I come. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. The floor is open for questions.
Hi there, I have 2 questions. The first one is, how long did it take to get the approval from Health Canada for the mask? And the second one is, how do you go about making a business model while you're developing your product?
So the first question is easier. I think that Health Canada is very supportive with Canadian company. So, and actually during COVID, Health Canada has a interim order, or we call that IO. We receive our right to sell within weeks, and it is so fast. And then your second question, how do I build a product while running the company and why getting new idea? I think that I dedicate that fully to the team. So I think that what I learned as an entrepreneur is to really learn to delegate. So when I can when I can do what I do best and when I don't have to do what I do worse.
Thank you. questions.
Thank you. I was wondering if you could expand a little bit on the muscle sensing, the EMG work that you've done. Was the previous product also your product and you just revisited it, or was that somebody else's and this is a new direction? And a little bit more on how it works or what it's sensing.
That was somebody else's product. I just show it there because we are using the similar form factor that is the arm sleeve or the thigh. So I have talked with the previous founder for that company, and then they were saying that they're using everything off the shelf. They target a totally different market. They were targeting professional cyclists, and then back at the time, I think that cyclist is, anyway, what I'm trying to say that there was a different product for what we are doing now, trying to focus on physical therapists or like physical therapy session. We don't need. We have a different list of feature, and then we are still trying to figure it out right now.
So I have also a question. So you mentioned at the end that you want to help entrepreneurs avoid mistakes that you made. I'm wondering if you could, elaborate on what you think might have been a mistake that you made with the first company.
Sure. I make plenty of mistakes when I first run my startup. The first mistake was actually taking outside money earlier than it really is. So I think that one of my first really lesson that I want to share with the next generation entrepreneur is only take the money when it's really necessary, and then when the stage of the company and the stage of development is fit for that particular money. And then at the same time, here we are in Canada. I think that I have never seen anywhere else in the world that the support from the government is that much for the Canadian company. I'm super lucky to be here. It takes me, I don't know how many, I have to be exceptional in order to receive the funding from US government, but then I don't need to be exceptional. I just need to be a normal person, and then I can still receive support from Canadian government. That's all I can say.
Great. Any further questions? I guess the last question for me, what is the role of graphene on the masks?
Sure. So in the picture that you see on the normal mask, we integrate the graphene on the filter, and then the role of the graphene is actually super simple: hydrophobicity. So initially, the thought was that COVID and everything, right? It is in the saliva. So what doesn't like saliva? Hydrophobicity.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Please join me in thanking Dr. Lei again. Thank you very much.